Hello YouTube, Canadian Edge here. Time for another knife review. And the knife we're going to look at today, it is from Civivi. And I got to tell you, I was excited about this one. I was hoping they'd do something like this, and they did, and it makes me very happy guy. And this is the Civivi Mini Praxis. So the Mini Praxis, it has a blade length of 2.98 inches. Open, it is 6.79 inches. And closed, 3.81 inches. The steel on it, it is a D2 steel drop point blade. The weight is 2.77 ounces. Handle is G10 with stainless steel liners, and they are skeletonized, or the one is anyway. And the pocket clip on it, it is a right hand tip up deep carry. Sorry lefties, it is not reversible. And that's too bad. They should have made it reversible. But I'm glad they made it a deep carry, and when you have it in your pocket, you hardly notice that it's in there. It is a liner lock on it. And as you can see, it is a flipper tab opening. You've got a finger choil there, just like the big boy. And you have the jimping on the back, which also makes me happy. I like that a lot. And on the in the pivot, you have the caged ceramic ball bearing. And so this is, as I say, it is the little brother to this guy, which is the full-size Praxis. And you can see that they are a little different size. And that is one of the reasons I was glad they made this, because I really like this knife, but it is a big knife. It's a light knife. It's a great knife. I've got no complaints about this knife. But it is a bigger knife, and so I was glad they made the smaller. I prefer carrying a smaller knife, and I don't need a big knife for the jobs that I do. A little knife works well. And so just a few little differences on it. You can see they made a little fancier pivot cap than on the Mini Praxis. You get the gold liners as opposed to the plain, and they had a lanyard hole on the back, and it is a reversible pocket clip on this one, which this is just the plain stainless steel, no lanyard, and none of that really bothers me at all. But like I just was glad they made the smaller copy, because this is a great knife. If you're looking for a big full-size knife, I would suggest looking at these, and encourage you to check those out. But let's get back to this guy. And so, yeah, very glad when they got this, and they made it in a budget price. Here in Canada, it was $44, I believe. So it would be nice to have a little nicer steel on it, perhaps. And maybe at some point they will come out with the different steels so that you can get a larger variety of them. But I'm just glad they made it, and I have been enjoying carrying this knife. And you can see, hopefully you can see, it is centered, and there is zero blade play up and down, left and right. It sits in there nice and solid. So that's good. I appreciate that, and just been really happy to carry this knife around. All right, let's look at sharpness. See what this does for cutting, and you can see a nice sharp edge on that. Takes the paper off with no problem. Bring out this stuff here. Let's try the old zip tie and see how it does with that. and we'll have to be careful it doesn't ride up the blade. Nope, no problems with that. Cut through that pretty darn easy. And how about the nylon cord? Again, no problems with that. So a nice edge on there, and the D2 will hold the edge for a while. And through the fake paracord, no worries, it cut that quite easily. All right, size-wise, well, you saw it was definitely smaller than the full-size Praxis. It is a little bit smaller than the Bug Out, and also a bit smaller than the Ontario Rat 2. Sorry, gotta make sure. Say that because there is the Rat 1, which is the full-size knife. And I have a feeling that it's going to be quite a bit smaller than the Cogent and also the Tenacious. So you can see it's not a big knife. But if you are the type of person that likes a smaller knife and want something that I believe is going to be a good knife, I would suggest taking a look at this. I love the aesthetics of this knife. It doesn't exactly have like a wow factor that you're like, whoa, look at that. It's just, it works for me. I don't know. I like the swedge on the top there. Gives it a nice look. And just the design, there's a right amount of handle for me. So I've got a medium-sized hand. So you can see I can just get the 4 fingers on there. So guys with bigger hands, you're gonna find this a small knife, but there's lots of knives that you guys would find small knives. So it works for me. This is good size. I really like the aesthetics of it. I think they got a nice balance of everything there. The ergonomics on it are great. The jimping is just, it's really good. It's, I don't know if you can see it on there. It's not a lot of jimping, but it's good. They could have maybe had one more row, would have been a little bit better, possibly. But what's there is really good, gives you a good grip, especially if you're using the choil. You can get that more control there if you're doing closer jobs, you know, finer jobs. So the ergonomics on it are great. You got the textured G10, so you get good grip on the handle. Again, the jimping helps out a lot with the grip. And so you got a variety of ways to hold the knife, and it feels good however you're holding it. So very pleased with the knife. The pivot on it, nice and smooth. I have yet to have a Civivi knife that I have a problem with the pivot. They've all worked very smooth and no issues there. It fits the pocket well. You can see it's not a real thick knife. It is a little bit thicker, you know, than say the, well, no, I guess it's not a whole lot thicker than the Ontario Rat. Slightly thicker. The tab and that do stick out a little bit. And I'm so happy that they made the pocket clip screws and the mount flush, so less wear and tear on the pocket, which is always a big beef for me with a lot of the knives. And it's budget friendly, as I said. It's, you know, $44 here in Canada, so it's going to be what, 30 something in the States. And I'm not sure elsewhere, wherever you're buying these, but I think a good knife for the money. And as far as dislikes, I don't really have a complaint about the knife. There isn't really anything about it that I don't like. It works great in the pocket. Even they made the tab, I think, the right size. They got some jimping on the tab so you can easily get it. But when you're reaching into your pocket, you're not hitting a big tab. which is nice. It's small enough that it's mostly out of the way. I mean, you can notice that it's there, but it's not as big as some of the knives that are out there. So it works great in the pocket, and I've used this now. Carried it here for the last, I guess, 2 weeks or so, and used it for different jobs, opening up boxes and whatnot, and it works great. I am really happy with it. This is a knife that I will carry a lot and use a lot, and it will go into my daily roster as a knife that I carry and use. So I like it when a company makes a knife functional, affordable, and something that you're happy with. So I would suggest checking those out. These make a great EDC, especially for people that like the smaller EDCs. And this would be great in your backpack. The lightness of it, 2.77 ounces. It's not a lot of weight. It would work good in a backpack or in a little bug-out bag. Different things like that people might have. It would be very useful. Or just in your pocket. It would work well in your pocket also. So I recommend this knife as an everyday carry knife, as one that you should check out, especially if you're building a collection and whatnot. This is, I believe, a good bang for the buck. One I would highly recommend, as you're probably getting from the video. In case that wasn't clear, I'll just tell you now, I recommend this knife. So that is the Civivi Mini Praxis. All right, thank you for joining me on this review. I'll be doing another review shortly. Hit a like, hit a subscribe, leave me a comment. I will get back to you. Love to hear from you guys. And we'll do this again. But until then, you stay safe and stay sharp.